Hi, so I got this to test out for you all today. It is the brand new It Cosmetics Your Skin But Better Foundation plus skincare. Now I don't know about the whole skincare aspect of it, but the foundation is the part that I really want to put to the test today because it claims to be a medium coverage that gives a natural, no makeup look and your skin but better type of look. So I want to test it out today, see if those claims stack up. The skincare portion of it, it says takes about 2 weeks to notice results, and that would be evens out the appearance of skin tone, visibly refines skin texture, and softens skin. So again, I'm not sure about that. We're not doing a 2-week trial right here, right now. Right now, I just want to see if it looks good on my skin, you know, and gives me that no makeup look, that flawless, but still my skin, but better type of look. So that's what we're gonna be doing today in this video. By the way, if you are new to my channel and new to my face, my name is Ashley Ellix, and I would love it so much if you consider subscribing by hitting that little red button down below, and then tap that bell next to the subscribe button. That way YouTube actually notifies you when I post more videos, which is 3 times a week, all beauty related and all cruelty free. But enough chit chat, enough of these formalities. If you wanna see how this foundation goes, maybe a little wear test, all that jazz, then you're in the right place. And all you need to do now is sit back, hang tight, keep on watching. Boop. Okay, first things first. It says put it on top of clean skin. Now, in my way of thinking, I would think that means cleanse your skin, dry, apply this product because of those skincare ingredients in it. However, I'm not about to not use my skincare regimen, which is pretty extensive. So I did do my normal skincare regimen that included my sunscreen because there's no sunscreen in here. So you definitely should do at least that, I would think. But I won't be using a primer today, which I do typically use. So we'll see how it performs. Basically how they suggest it, just adding my skincare to it as well. And maybe I'll still get some skincare benefits from it, but my goal really is the foundation. Oh, I was not expecting this type of bottle. Haven't even looked at it yet. So the other suggestion, of course, with this foundation is to pair it with your favorite It Cosmetics brush. Now, I was actually buying it from Ulta when it launched, and they were including a brush with purchase, like a specific gift with purchase, which was this one called the Airbrush Complexion Perfection number 115. So I'll be using this today per their recommendation, at least on half my face. And if it's not going great, then we'll do a sponge or something on the other side. But considering this is the brush that they were heavily pushing to be the gift with purchase with it, I'm assuming this is the perfect pairing. Feels very, very soft too, which I'm really excited for. Ooh. So it says to shake well and then apply 1 to 2 pumps to clean skin, but we already went over that. Me not using a primer though, that's a lot because I always use primers. So we'll see how this goes today. I really truly hope it just melts into my skin. By the way, in case you are wondering, I got the shade Light Neutral 22. They did have a lot of different light neutral shades. Let's see. I think that'll work. And I do have to say the shade range was a lot better for It Cosmetics. There was a lot more offerings, a lot more undertones, all the way ranging to your deep and your dark shades finally. So that is good. The only other time I've seen It Cosmetics release a good, decent shade range was when they launched those foundations last year that were full coverage, and they were amazing, but they promptly pulled them within a month, I think, of launching them, or maybe a couple months, and it was rude because that was a great foundation. I loved it. Whatever. Anyways, I'm not expecting this to perform in that same way that that foundation did because that one was full coverage, but I'm expecting this to be at least different, hopefully, than say their CC creams and their other products that all kind of pretty much do the same thing. But we will see, won't we? Going on really nice. This brush is super, super soft. Oh, a really nice brush. It feels very silky. I can see where they get that, like, I'm sure there's skincare stuff infused in there because it has that kind of serum-y type of texture to it that, yeah, it reminds me of like a skincare foundation. Interesting. I don't know much about ingredients, but I wonder what it is that they use that they claim to be so good for your skin. I don't know. That ingredient list, I'm not too sure. I cannot wait to see somebody break it all down. Maybe like Jen Loves Reviews or somebody, because I'm curious to find out. So that's with one light layer on one side of my face. It does look pretty nice. Yeah, I would say it looks pretty nice. Let me scoot up for you a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely glowy. Definitely like evened out my skin tone a little bit. You could see all my discoloration over here. Yeah, that's pretty. There's this one area right here around my pores that for some reason lightweight and light coverage type of foundations always just look weird in the pores right there. I don't know what it is. So that's why I usually like a primer, but whatever, we're gonna test it this way. Let me do one more layer on this side and let's see how that looks. Okay. All right. With a light second layer, this is how it's looking. I mean, I definitely think that I see a difference. It looks like over here, this coloration that I have it on both sides of my cheeks, but you can tell that it's more blurred and kind of evened out a little bit. I still see my skin peeking through, so it doesn't, again, look like I'm wearing a heavy coverage or anything, but it just looks like my skin, but a little bit better. I'm not sure about the texture yet, because it looks like it is texturizing some smile lines that I have a little bit, because I can't see them as much on this side, but when I put it there, I can see a little bit. Maybe once I do all my topping products and everything, it'll blur like it normally does, but yeah. I'm gonna go do the other side of my face, and then I'm gonna let it dry down for like 5 minutes, and we'll see how, you know, tackiness is and everything, and if I feel like I need to set it, which I do usually feel like that, so I'll be surprised if I don't, but we'll see in a sec. All right, so I let that dry down for about 5 minutes, and I am seeing this really beautiful sheen that's going on my skin. It's not overly dewy, but it's pretty satin. It looks really healthy, really nice. It's mostly dried down. Like, you could probably get away with not setting it if it doesn't bother you to not set it, but something has to be like really, really, really dried down for me not to set it, just because I don't like that feeling on my skin. But it's pretty comfortable. Like, I feel like I could probably throw this on if I just kind of want to even out my skin, not set it and just like go, and then not worry about if it's gonna last throughout the day and stuff. But if you want it to last, setting it would probably be your best bet. That's what I will be doing. But my skin does look really healthy, and it does kind of look like my skin but better in this moment right here, right now. So I am gonna hop off really quickly and apply the rest of my makeup. I will do a little bit of concealer, but I'm gonna try to keep it, you know, more natural, medium coverage. And then to set, I think I'm gonna grab my favorite setting powder that's pressed, and that happens to be It Cosmetics, the Bye Bye Pores pressed setting powder, because I just wanna tap a little bit kind of in the areas that I know can either break down or get a little bit greasy on me sometimes, which I do have dry skin, and I didn't mention that, but I still like things set and in its place. So I don't want anything shifting, and this isn't too intense, and I can just kind of spot put it everywhere. So we'll see how it looks in just a sec. All right, I'm back, which always feels really weird to say because I know you guys only waited 0.1 seconds, but it's been a while for me. So this is what everything is looking like with my full face done, and I will of course go up close so you guys can see a little bit better. But yeah, to me it's like a true medium coverage. Does look like my skin but better, I'm thinking. I understand where they got that name. Now, I'm kind of comparing it to the other foundations I've used from It Cosmetics. So the CC cream, and I believe it's the No Foundation or the Bye Bye foundation. The one that is in the tubes. They're pretty much the same to me. Those ones I don't really like on my skin. They just look weird from the get-go. I just can never quite get them to work out. The coverage is a little less than this one is, in my opinion. I feel like this one gives you a little bit more coverage, and I like how this felt going on, that serum-y consistency. It just felt nice. Also, I think this is a nice satiny kind of glowy look, not crazy dewy or anything, but it just looks pretty nice. It does kind of look like my skin but better, except when I get up close. So going back up close for you guys, I have a little trouble area already over here, which looks like it's kind of netting and just getting kind of weird. So I don't particularly like that. Yeah, right around the cheeks and then right around the chin, like this area right here. It's just looking a little, I almost want to say powdery, but I barely used any of that setting powder. I very gently pressed it, so I don't know why it's doing that. I feel like that's the foundation, because it's doing like that texturizing that I was afraid was happening with just the foundation by itself. But my smile lines aren't as obvious now that I put the powder on, so that is nice. Right now, at this very moment, it's one of those things that from like a regular normal person distance, it looks really fine. It looks nice. But when you start getting up close, it's like, wait, I kind of see something going on there, which I'm a little disappointed in now that I have my setting products on top, because it looked a little nicer without everything. I almost want to compare it to the ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation, which looks so good on my skin. It's a fraction of the cost of this one. It has I want to say very similar coverage, but it looks a little bit healthier. It looks a little bit more glowy, hydrated looking. But I do love that ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation because I pair it with the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer. So therefore, I'm wondering if I paired this with a primer like the e.l.f. Luminous Putty, would I like it just as much then? So I don't know. That might be kind of why I'm having those little trouble areas. I know they don't want you to use a primer so that, you know, your skin can absorb the healthy skincare ingredients that are in this foundation. But I feel like my skin, it works better with primers. I know not everybody's on board with face primers, but I really like the way primers pair with foundations on my skin. I definitely feel like it helps it stick, and then I can avoid this kind of weirdness. Although that's kind of what the CC cream does on me, but way worse, all that kind of separating things. So this is a step in the right direction, but I kind of need to pair it with a primer, I think I do. So that's what everything's looking like right now. Let's do a little wear test. Let's see how this looks at the end of the night, and if it changes at all, if it gets worse, if it gets better magically, I don't know, but let's check that out. All right, so it's been about 8 hours now, and this is what everything is looking like. So as you can see, I have a lot more shine coming through. I'm borderline oily now. However, I'm honestly not that surprised because I use such little amount of setting powder. And even though I have dry skin, anytime I use like hydrating or satin type of finishes, this is typically the result that I'm left with if I do a really light powdering with it. So that doesn't surprise me. However, because of the like kind of weird texturing thing that I had going on up here and a little bit around here, that oil coming through is now kind of making the foundation look a little bit like mask-like and kind of netted, like a foundation net was laid on my face. That's kind of what you see if you look really close. However, that's really close up. Farther away, I actually think it looks really pretty. So there's just a couple little minor areas that I think could use some improvement. And I think my solution with that will be playing around with different primers and trying to find the perfect pairing. Even though it's said to not use a primer with it, I think for me, since I'm not necessarily looking for the skincare benefits, I could pair it with a primer and try to find like a holy grail combo. Also, alternatively, I was thinking about how I felt about it when I first put it on with just the foundation before I applied a bunch of other products, and I actually really liked how it felt on my skin, how it looked. So I think I'll really enjoy this on days that I just want to even out my skin tone and hyperpigmentation, and then like throw on some mascara and lip gloss, and it might be really pretty, which is kind of what I was originally purchasing the CC cream for and the Bye Bye foundation, but those ones just for some reason do not look good on my skin. This foundation does what I had hoped those CC creams would do. So I am happy with that. I'm not like 100% sold on this foundation yet. However, I'm pretty optimistic and I think I can make it work. So more trying will be had and more figuring out just to nail down the perfect combinations. So there you have it for my first round testing out this new foundation from IT Cosmetics. Now I'm going to be continuing to test this out over the next week or so and just really get down to the bottom of it, pair it with a primer, see how it goes, especially that e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer that works so beautifully with my other medium coverage healthy foundation. But I'm going to be testing it over on my Instagram. So if you aren't following me over there yet, make sure you are following me. It's Ashley Ellix over there as well. I'll usually be putting it in my stories so you guys can see it throughout the day, see as I test it and talk about it there. And I can take those snaps and put some of them in my YouTube stories. If you didn't know, YouTube actually has stories. If you click on my profile picture, you can check out the stories there so you can see that as well. So make sure you're subscribed to me here on YouTube so you don't miss that either. So that way you get extended content and you can see these products in action more long term rather than just this first impressions video only. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I super appreciate it and hope that every single one of you have a great, freaking awesome, wonderful, beautiful day.